Ugh.
Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jay Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Andria McNutt, the founder and owner of McNutt Enterprises. Based in Carbon Hill, Alabama, Andria launched her woman-owned small business in 2018, specializing in vegetation management, residential land clearing, shoreline restoration, and disaster response. With a background in business and management, she's built a company known for safety, professionalism, and transformative projects like clearing 20 miles of shoreline. We'll be exploring her founding story, how McNutt Enterprises serves its clients, and her vision for scaling this impactful venture. So with that being said, let's dive right in. Andria, welcome to Founding
Hi,
Future.
thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you wanting to hear our story. It's a very impactful one. It's one that it needs to be shared because I want it shared and I need more people. So share it along.
I love it. I love it. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. And I know that there's been some challenges today. So really, really love the enthusiasm and just the grit and the drive that you have. So really would love to start at the top for our listeners here, Andrea. If you can take us back to the beginning and really talk to us about what specific problem in the vegetation management industry really inspired you to start McNutt Enterprises.
My husband was a foreman for some bigwig vegetation management companies,
Hmm.
for two of them, and he knew his job very well and he was really good at it. On the weekends, this is back 10 years ago, on the weekends he would go out and he would do tree work on the side. And honestly, the only reason that I got involved was because I wanted an excuse to get to hang out with him. I was like, I want to go too. Me
Yeah.
too, me too. That turned into me learning a trade. It turned into me learning how to do the roping and rigging, me learning the climbing, me learning how to operate equipment. And then it became, we were making more money on the weekends doing tree jobs than what we were doing our 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And we did that for from 2015 to 2018. We would work during the summer doing tree work, and then we would go back to work getting a regular job. And that way, because we have kids, that way our kids had school clothes, Christmas, all that was covered because
All
that's
right.
when the slow season is. 2018, we said the heck with it. We're not going back to work for anybody else. And we've been on our own ever since. And 2021, we LLC'd. It started out with me, my husband, a Walmart pole and chainsaw, a used set of spikes, a used Buccaneer harness, and dad's trailer. And now we have a fleet of 3 trucks, 20 employees, 2 skid steers. I can't tell you how many trailers, and continuously adding more people to our team. We educate them every year. We put them through class. We truly, strongly believe in empowering our people. If we empower our people, then we empower our own company. The better I am to them, the better they are to me.
And
But that's how we got started. Now we're in the vegetation management world. It's funny, I don't have the high school or I don't have the college degrees to be doing what I'm doing, but I've been very blessed to be able to learn it on the fly.
mm,
And don't ever let if anybody hears this and hears any message from me, don't ever let anybody tell you that because you came from the streets or because you don't have a college education or even a high school education that you're not capable of doing something, because we have built something on my part
mm,
that I used to say people like me shouldn't be doing, but you know what? Everybody like me should be doing it. Everybody like everybody. You believe in yourself, you work hard, you believe in your team, and you push through the good, the bad, and the ugly.
incredible and just so inspiring and really just a testament to who you are as a person and why you are seeing the success that you're seeing. And I think that's the beauty of the show is having so many founders on the show at this point, so many different walks of life, so many different paths that you can take. And as you just mentioned, right, you don't need all these fancy certifications or degrees to be successful. It really is about applying yourself, having that grit, having that grind, and really just doing what you love and doing it
Right.
care and quality. Just an incredible story and background on that end. So I really would love to get into the nuts and bolts of what you're doing for our listeners here, especially if this can end up aligning once this episode airs and you can get some more clients out of the
Yeah.
conversation. So really talk to us a bit more about how you're generating revenue today, Andrea, as far as the core offer, the core service. When clients come to you, what is the service offerings that they can expect to see?
You are guaranteed that your yard is, for my residential clientele, they are guaranteed that their property will look better before I left than what it was when I got there. It doesn't matter if we didn't touch this side of your yard, guess what? It still gets raked, it still gets blown, the whole thing gets cleaned off. So having that standard of professionalism, of having that standard of this is what we expect and we're not going to take anything less, understanding that my crew members know my standard and paying them very well for it. That's been a big thing. Collaborating with other owners instead of using them as competition, using them as allies, that has also helped contribute to our growth and success. The Alabama Department of Small Biz, Alabama, the Alabama Small Business Development Center has been a crucial part in our growth, our success. They helped us launch a lot of stuff that we didn't know we needed. And then getting in with power companies and storm brokerage companies, starting to chase hurricanes and do hurricane work for utilities. That has been a massive part of our growth. And also teaching my men. That's another big thing that is very important, is investing time, money, and energy into my men. I don't just invest my money into them by paying them every week. They go through safety classes, they go through safety trainings, all of this stuff every year, every 3 months. That's a huge part of our success with the bigger contractors and the utilities. The fact that I have a roster I can show them, say, hey, my men are certified in this and this. It's me investing in my men, which is investing in my community, which is therefore growing my community in a positive way. And I want more of it. I want more of the outcast. Bring them in.
I love
Let me teach them a trade. Let me bring these young men and women, not
that.
just men, but men and women up off these streets. And when I say young, I'm talking 18 to 20, maybe
Yeah.
23, 24. Bring these young men, young women up off these streets, get them out of these streets doing what they're doing, give them a job, educate them, pay them more than anybody else is willing to, and keep them right by your side. But the education and me pouring into them reflects back onto what they show in my company and when they show up on every one of my job sites. That is probably my biggest key to success right there.
Incredible. So with that there, you guys do land clearing, tree cutting,
Mm-hmm.
disaster response. What would you say is the number one service that you're seeing the recurring customers continue to come back for? Is there one service in particular, or is it
Well, it's definitely going to be my residential. I have multiple repeat clients that call me out every year for trimming or for removal. And then also my utility service side, where we go out and chase hurricanes and different storms. That has become a huge factor in our growth and what we do.
amazing?
Yeah.
So on that front there, Andrew, I would definitely love to touch on the acquisition, right? Getting new clients. Obviously, you've been doing this for quite some time now, from 2018, really hitting the ground running with this. I know you started in 2015, so the last 10 years, but really today, what's working best for acquisition, right? How are new clients coming in consistently? Do you have a lever that you can pull to have a predictable lead flow coming in for the company right now? Which channels are most effective there?
I have a third party company called JSA Interactive. They handle my Google account for me and they are amazing. And since I've gotten hooked up with that company, my phone stays ringing during the winter, during the summer, during the spring, during the fall. That's been a huge part of our company's growth with our residential work. It doesn't have anything to do with our utility work, but our residential work it's had a huge impact on. So that's one thing. JSA Interactive, getting on Google, making sure your company is out there, promoting yourself on social media. I have noticed, get a LinkedIn account, pay the $70 for the good LinkedIn account. That's one thing. And put yourself out there, network, post 3 times a day, post on social media, post If you run a tree business and you're struggling, you're having a hard time, just some basic hints, man. Hit the ground running. Don't be scared to hustle. Don't be scared to get out there and get sweaty. I do it. I work with my men side by side with them, and I still run everything in this office. That's really the success there. And
I love
then dealing with the utility companies, that's a whole different beast because I got to be a different kind of person with that. You got to be more professional. You have
Yes.
to have every T crossed, every dot I'd. You have to have the insurance to handle it. And that can become pricey, but it's worth it because you get a great ROI.
Yes, absolutely.
So
I think that's the beauty is having so many different things that you can bring to the table, providing that quality and understanding. For this avenue, you have to be a certain way, and for this avenue, you can operate in a different light. And that's really the beauty there. Are you doing anything around ads at all, or any different avenues that you see working better, or are these really been the most effective?
that's it. That's
Wow,
it. It's Google, Facebook, and my utility companies
wow,
and storm brokerage companies that we work with. And
amazing.
word of mouth. Word of mouth does a lot.
Yeah,
Before we got on Google, all we had was a Facebook and word of mouth.
wow. And now with
So
Google and being ranked on an SEO, it's you're really seeing a big boom there. I know you said you have 20 employees. I'm assuming a lot of them are your workers. Do you have a sales team, a marketing team to get more clients in the door for yourself, or you are running the show on that
you
side?
were looking at her.
Amazing.
You were looking at her. There's not an aspect of this company that I cannot handle. I learned this company from the very first thing I was allowed to learn was how to properly hand stack a trailer.
Amazing.
All the way up to I can operate a bucket truck. I can climb. I can rescue somebody. I can see I'm line clearance certified. I can do CPR. I can run any chainsaw I have. I do all my own bidding. I don't let anybody bid my jobs for me. I go meet my customers all one on one, let them know that you're speaking directly to the owner of the company. That adds a very personal one on one touch with your clientele. And I've noticed that makes a big difference versus sending out foremans to go bid for me.
Incredible.
So
Absolutely incredible. So with that, it's clear as day you're seeing success here, Andrea. Things are going well. I know there was a bit of a blip today, but you're bouncing back from that instantaneously. But overall, things are going really well. What can you point to as a bottleneck right now when you're thinking about continuing to grow and continuing to scale McNutt Enterprises? What's a bottleneck there that you're thinking about right now?
the biggest thing I have on my mind right now, as far as growing and scaling, it doesn't even really involve McNutt.
Yeah.
It's about my community. It's about wanting to do something for these kids, these young adults that have nothing they weren't given what they needed. And so that is my push. That is my inspiration. That is my bottleneck. That is my reason I get up and I do this because these young men and these young women have been pushed aside because they didn't have this or they didn't have that. But all
Hmm.
they needed was somebody to believe in them, pay them a fair wage, and then educate them.
Yes.
And I couldn't ask for a better crew.
Incredible.
It
Absolutely.
that's really my biggest key that is to success is my crew members
Yeah.
who I've picked, and I have people that others would call deplorables,
Hmm.
and I don't like that. I don't
Yeah.
like that at all. I'm very defensive over my men
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
women. I'm very defensive over them. I have their backs through the good, the bad, the ugly. I love them enough to tell them congratulations, but I also love them enough to tell them when you're screwing up, here's a write up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
That's the beauty, right? The beauty in being
yeah.
a founder is that you have to be able to get down and dirty and call it how it is, call the shots, make
Yep.
sure everything's running effectively and smooth. Truly is incredible having you on, Andrew, talking through your mindset every day, being a founder, how you're running this. And again, seeing the success that you're seeing is truly incredible. Talk to us about the rest of this year at this point. Clear as
All
day,
right.
constant growth. Paint us that picture. What does the rest of the year look like for you?
The rest of the year, I'm hoping to buy 3 more bucket trucks this year, and I'm hoping to employ another 20 people and have them all certified. And I will run every hurricane that hits the United States. And that will be a huge factor in our success. Along with when we're not running hurricanes, we are out here doing residential work with my regular 20 men.
So on that side, I would definitely love to hear more about your success on that front with the hurricane. So is it really just more of the cleanup and restoration
Mhm.
side that you guys come in,
So
so
the way,
these down?
yes, yes, the way it works is so the linemen come in, and before the linemen can come in and restring the lines, we have to come in and remove the trees off of the lines after they're de-energized, obviously. And then the linemen come in and they restring them up. So when, like, for example, Hurricane Helene from last year, when
Yes.
she came in, she was devastating.
Yeah.
She did some awful damage. So when we got there, we were sending right of ways. We were sending people's yards that had down trees on them. We'd come in, we'd cut the trees, we'd move the trees, and then the lineman would restring it, and then we'd go back to our park up spot and wait on our next call. And we ran every hurricane that hit the United States last year doing that.
Wow. Just incredible work. And not only helping people on the front and the residential side, but to be able to do that is such an impact that people don't even know.
People don't know.
They can't
People
see
don't know.
that.
It's like a first responder.
Exactly.
The linemen can't come in and do their job until we come in and do our jobs. We are literally the first boots on the ground when major disasters happen.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
Unbelievable. Incredible and truly grateful to be able to have you on the show talking a bit more to that so people open their eyes up
yeah.
to the work that goes into that restoration effort because I know it's not easy. I live in South Carolina, so
It's brutal.
there's a lot that goes on and so many people that are needed to get things back in order. Just
Yeah.
incredible to hear what you're doing. And talk to me about how you see the vegetation management industry as a whole evolving in the coming years, especially with your safety focused approach and how you're really building up your team and really creating an empire here. How do you see that evolving and what are you doing to position yourself at the forefront of the evolution there?
I'm doing something that no other vegetation management company that I know of does.
Hmm.
I pay on average 15 to 17% more than any other vegetation company out there that I can find in the state of Alabama. That's one thing. That's how I'm, that's one of my biggest flexes because believe it or not, I am a small company. I only have 2 bucket trucks and 2 skid steers. So that's really small compared to some of these other ones. That's a big one. And then also paying more and buying more equipment, being real smart with your money, keeping it, what's the word I'm looking for? Organized, keeping it together, keeping your stuff together, hiring the right people for the right
Yeah.
positions. That's a big part of it. That's knowing your managers, trusting and delegating is a big part of it.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's hurricane season is going to be a big thing for us this year. That's going to be the rest of our year is hurricane and residential. When we're not doing residential, we will be working hurricanes.
Absolutely incredible there. So with that there, I do want to take us into the lightning round here, Andrea. I
All
mean,
right.
it's been incredible having you on, really talking us through, and it's opened my eyes to so much. I know it has for listeners as well. So truly been a pleasure and an honor. So on this
Thank you.
side, I would love to know a tool or a resource that you're utilizing. Maybe it's a safety protocol, a management strategy, or an AI tool that you're using to make your life a lot easier. But what's really been a game changer for the business this far?
You may get tired of hearing this, but it goes back to who I hire.
Yeah.
It goes back to who I put in place for what
Yeah.
and making sure that I'm paying them top dollar for top dollar work. And that is something that has just been a game changer. My office manager, he is amazing. I absolutely love that man.
Yeah.
I can trust him with anything I have, and he gets it done for me. My crew is absolutely amazing. There hasn't been a job I can put them up against that they're like, we ain't doing this.
Yeah.
There's not a single one. So, as much as credit as I personally would like to take from this, I bid the jobs, but like we say, praise the Lord and send it. I bid them, they line them up, I line them up, and they go knock them out. As
No.
much credit as I would love to take for this and our company and our growth and our ability to excel and exceed our own expectations, it's not me, it's my crew. It's the
Unbelievable.
people that I've hired.
Unbelievable. So, last question, definitely not least here, and definitely looking forward to hearing it from you, Andrea. What is a piece of advice that you can offer to our listeners tuning in right now? Just heard your story and your journey and how inspiring you are as a human. What can you offer to our listeners before we wrap up the show today?
I got two things for you, brother.
It's here.
Number one, you knew I was a snake when you picked me up, dummy. That's number one.
Hmm.
You knew I was a snake when you picked me up, which means if you know it's a snake, what do snakes do? They bite you, right?
They bite.
They bite, so don't pick it up. Number two, always stay faithful to who you are. Always stay true to who you are. This world will eat you up and it will swallow you and it will spit you out and it doesn't care. But if you remain steady, steadfast into who you are, you keep a good heart on yourself, a greedy heart will never prosper. Keep a good heart on yourself and a level mind, and you will go far.
Unbelievable. Absolutely beautiful. With that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Andrea, I truly cannot thank you enough coming on the show and sharing your incredible journey and your insights. And as I mentioned, just a beautiful soul and spirit, and clear as day why you're seeing the success that you're seeing. Again, an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much for what you are doing. And I know that you're going to continue to see
Yes,
that success in the future. So again, thank you so much. And to
yes,
our
and
listeners, shoot,
yeah,
yeah,
and thank you. Thank you for having me on. This is a huge deal for me. This is an honor for me that I get to be here and you want to hear my story and you want to put my story out there and our company's story out there. It's a big flex for me and it's an honor. It
absolutely.
truly is. It's a big deal. And I want to say thank you to you for finding me and finding me interesting enough to put out there. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, off the back of that, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And don't forget to check out McNutt Enterprises at McNuttEnterprisesLLC.com to learn more about their vegetation management and disaster response services. And follow Andrea on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Andrea McNutt 5A7B00103. And for more resources and insights, you can visit us here at closers.io. We are dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class marketing systems. Until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.